What? Oh, that's why. Do, 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 do. Is it live? Is it all right? It's live. Okay. All right, there we go. Let's see. All right, there we go. There we go. Just 1 minute, family. I need to put the title in. I need to put the title in. Sorry, family. I know it's some dead air, but I'm just putting the title in real quick. Making sure that pops up. All right, there we go. There we go. Making all right. Welcome to another episode of Candid Conversations. I'm your host, Mark D. Like we always do at the beginning of the show, giving shout outs, of course, to entrepreneurs and business owners. Sipping my hibiscus ginger orange tea. But let's start. Always giving a shout out to this sister right here, Aries Owens, and her book. Let me get it in a shot. There you go. Hear Me Out. Go and cop her book. You can follow the sister here on Facebook. You can go over to IG and follow the sister as well. Also, giving a shout out to the brother Gary Crenshaw, and his detailing spot over on Hayden Road in East Cleveland. You can go and follow him over at IG at G Spot at the G Spot Detailing. So if you looking to get your car detailed and you're in the Cleveland area, go ahead and holler at that young brother. Also, giving a shout out to my aunt, the paintings that y'all see in my background every week, Kim Black. So if you're looking for something that is custom made for you and is custom made for your house or for your office, reach out to her. Like I said, my aunt's name is Kim Black. Go and support her. Also, wearing the homies, supporting him, Wes Wheels. Let me get that in the shot. There you go, Wes Wheels. Always supporting my brother. So if you done curved up your rim or if you done hit a chuck hole like I did last week and you need it fixed, reach out to Ethan West and he will take care of you. You can send him a picture and get a free and instant quote, and he'll let you know what he can do for you. Also, giving a shout out to me and the big homie, Rodney Dukes, and Polish 'em Off Detailing and Ceramic Center in North Ridgeville, Ohio. Also, we do window tint. We do accessories. We do running boards. We do, if you want some interior lights in your vehicle, we do LED lights. We do running boards. We do remote starts. We pretty much a one-stop shop. The only thing that we don't do is paint the car. How about that? So there you go. Also giving a shout out to my brother, Fred Council Jr. You can follow him on IG at FC on the beat. You can go and cop a beat looking for production. You can go to fconthebeat.com and support him. So now that we got that out of the way, y'all see it, family. Tonight's topic. What's up, bruh? Hey, Shawnee. Y'all see tonight's topic? Is your mother loving and caring or toxic and abusive? I got 3 questions up there. And last week, Tuesday evening, we discussed the importance of having a father active in a child's life. Whether he has one child, whether he has children, it doesn't matter. On Friday's Ustream over on YouTube, we discuss the effects of not having an active father in a child's life. We talked about some mental health issues that occur. We talked about some self-esteem issues that come up. And those who have watched, those who have gone and watched the playback, I said with no prejudice, and I said what I said. If you fathered a child and you have the option to raise that child, regardless of the circumstances, and you choose not to, in my opinion, you're a worthless piece of shit. And I say that, I'll put that out there again. Any man that doesn't father something that he created, there's no excuse. Like I said, there's every exception to the rule. I'm not talking about that. We speak in generalities here on the show. And so, like I said last week, this week, we're going to be talking about a loving, a nurturing mother. And then on the flip side, we're going to be discussing some toxic traits and characteristics of a mother, and also some abusive traits and characteristics of a mother. But one of the things that I want the ladies to know is that I believe in accountability on both sides, as a mother and as a father. Anyone that know me know that I hold accountability. The people that I have around me hold me to a high level of accountability in my life, whether it be work, whether it be my personal life, personal relationships. I don't have anyone around me that don't hold me to a high accountability standard. And I say that because I wasn't always like that. I want to make that perfectly clear. And in my growing up process, there were some things, my perspective, my perception of how I looked at my father, my perception of how I looked at my mother. I had to address those because they were my perspective and perceptions. It wasn't as if my parents had ill intentions in how they raised me. They both raised me to the best of their ability. Now, of course, we know that there's a saying that grandparents are the best parents because trial and error was with their children. And so if the grandparents have matured up and have grown up, then yes, I will concur with that. I will concur with that. But there are parents who may not realize that they honestly believe that what they're giving their children is loving and nurturing. And, we're going to get in some of those traits. I'm not bashing women. So don't ever, I pray that you don't ever feel that way. I pray that you don't feel that, that I'm bashing you, that I'm targeting you, because those who know me personally know that I don't play any sides. Accountability is accountability, especially as a parent. If you're in business, everyone's accountable. Everyone's accountable. So we want to keep that. So like I said, I dealt with the men last week. I dealt with the fathers. We talked about manhood. We talked about fatherhood. I'm not a woman, so I can't speak on womanhood. What I have studied and researched as far as motherhood, one of the things that I've noticed, it was harder for me to find loving and nurturing traits of a good mother. Whether it was on the World Wide Web, whether it was on YouTube, I would type in on YouTube, I typed in characteristics and traits of a loving mother, and I got all different types of videos of a narcissistic mother, of a manipulative mother, an abusive mother. And I'm like, wow, like this is something that is going on so much that we seem to forget that just like fathers are human beings, mothers are human as well. And it's unfair. Like I said last week, we often as children look at our parents through the eyes of children. And so what happens a lot of times is that because we're looking at our parents through the eyes of a child, we take for granted who they are. We take for granted the sacrifices that they've made. They didn't get a chance to begin to live their best life until we were out of the home. And I think too many times we can't see that through in our parents because we're selfish. We have this preconceived notion of how we're supposed to be parented, and our parents do the best that they can with the tools and resources that they have readily available. And before we get into the conversation in depth, I want to give a big shout out to the moms and to the mothers who make it do what it do for their children day in and day out. Who get up, who go to work, who sacrifice their time, their efforts, their resources. I give you credit for what you do. And I applaud you for what you do. And so we're going to start off this evening. And as I state all the time, my heart weighs heavy when it comes to family issues. Because too often what we've done is that our family structure is so chaotic and toxic that we've normalized toxic family structure. A lot of us truly don't even know what a healthy family environment is. And then we wonder why our intimate relationships and our work relationships are toxic, our friendships are toxic. And it's because that's all we know. That's all we know. So like I said, tonight's topic is questioning if your mother was loving and nurturing, or if she was toxic and abusive. And the first question that y'all see up, was your mother growing up, was your mother a parent? Or did you have a sistership with your mother? And what I mean by sistership is that, your mother was your big sister. She didn't set boundaries in place. She didn't give you rules and regulations. Yet instead, you had to help grow her up. She was your sister. She was more of a friend than a parent. So that's what I mean by either a parent or your relationship with her was a sistership. And it goes both ways, girls and boys, growing up. Oftentimes, you see that the oldest child in the house, they have to grow up faster than the rest of their siblings. And it has been shown and proven that what that does a lot of times is create arrested development. So a lot of times the oldest child, which a lot of people would think that they're more mature, but the reason why we have a lot of adult males and adult girls is because they never had the opportunity to live a child's life, because they had to grow up faster than the rest of their siblings. Oftentimes, the oldest child couldn't make the same mistakes as the younger siblings. And so you see that when the oldest gets resources and have access to different things, they wild out faster than the younger siblings, because the younger siblings were able to wild out growing up. Like I said, we don't speak in absolutes here. We speak in generalities. We understand that every situation may be different. We're not talking about the nuances of every household. We're just talking about the general typical household. So, and the second question, do you respect your mother with love and adoration? Or do you have a lack of respect for your mother because of the things that you felt that she did or didn't do? And then you have a sense of contentment and or resentment for your mother. And what I mean by that is your mother went through some things, and you've witnessed your mother go through some things and put up with some things, and you said, I'll never let that happen. I wish I would, this, that, and the other. Did you do that? Or can you look at your mother and say, you know what, Mom, you did the best that you could, with love and admiration? Traits of a loving mother. One of the things it says that a loving and nurturing mother helps her children to reach their highest potential, as well as to bring out the best in her child or in her children. Some of the traits we know when it comes to children, most mothers don't have a problem with showing that child unconditional love. Then you have the trait of a good mother is that she don't have a problem with being affectionate. She holds no affection back from her children. You know, a mother is caring, because one of the opposing sides, if a mother is not caring to her child or to her children, oftentimes it creates abandonment issues. Caring and abandonment issues are synonymous with one another. You know, did what your mother wasn't overbearing. She was fun, she was creative. And I mean this growing up as a child. Your mother did arts and crafts with you. She took time to find out the things that you liked, and she helped cultivate and nurture your loves and the things that you wanted to be in life. She nurtured all of that. You know, a loving mother wasn't afraid to set boundaries for you as a child. She just didn't let you run amok. And the boundaries that she set was all in love. It didn't stop you from being who you were. She wasn't stopping you from expressing yourself. The boundaries were set in place to protect you. That's what a loving and nurturing mother does. She set boundaries. She has no problem with setting boundaries, because a mother that loves her child or children understands that she's not your friend. She's here to help you become the best version of yourself without you losing who you are. But she helps guide you. She helped guide you. A loving and nurturing mother is one who is a great listener. She knows your likes, your dislikes. She knows when, something changed about my child. Something's quite not right. A loving mother creates a safe place for her children to express themselves without being disrespectful. Because a nurturing mother understands that in order for her to gain and to have her child's respect, she must give her child respect respectfully and in accordance, not as that of an adult, But you understand that, okay, let me listen, because I might learn something new if I just hold my tongue for a minute. A loving mother is relatable. Understanding that at one point in time, especially when it comes to your daughter, you was once that age. So she understands how she felt at that age if and when nobody listened to her. So she's able to relate to her daughter. She's able to relate to her son in the sense and the aspect that she was once his age. She can't relate to him as far as, okay, him being a boy, but I was once that age. So to the women out there, I ask the question to you: did your mother parent you with love and with the nurturing aspect? And we understand that it's hard for mothers if they never got it from your grandmother. That if and until they realized that they needed help, they gave you what they had. And that goes into the next portion of tonight's topic, as far as the toxicity that mothers grow their kids up in. And that's why, because this part, in just studying it and reading it, it broke my heart. Not as a woman or as a man. I mean, not as a woman or a mother, but just as a man. And in my dating throughout the years, in my marriages, some of the aspects and characteristics that we'll discuss, I've seen it. I've witnessed it. I've seen mothers love their children so hard because of their abandonment issues. They don't want their children to ever leave them. And I get it. I understand that it's hard. I truly understand that. I've expressed on the show before. I've had to, growing up, within these past 5-6 years, I've had to begin to deal with my own abandonment issues, my own personal insecurities, my own egotistical ways to protect my ego, and the things that I was doing to protect my ego and my pride. So I get it. It's a difficult journey. But I one thing that I can say is that the journey and life's process that I have been on, I had to come to the conclusion that from both parents, I was brought up in this. I was brought up in this. And before I read the traits of a toxic and abusive mother, I want to read something to you, because everything that I researched, everything that I studied, one of the things that kept popping up was a narcissistic mother. That popped up time and time and time and time again. And for the first couple days that I was researching this topic, I kept scrolling past it because so much is put on narcissistic tendencies on men that in my head, yeah, I know that some women can be narcissistic, but for it to keep coming up, there's obviously a problem. And so I read this to you. I can't even. I thought I wrote down the doctor's name that I got it from. My apologies. But one of the things that she said a narcissistic mother teaches their daughters. Now, this is narcissistic mother and a daughter relationship. I want to make that clear. A narcissistic mother teaches their daughters that love is not unconditional, that it is given only when they behave in accordance with maternal expectations and whims. As adults, these daughters have difficulty overcoming feelings of inadequacy, disappointment, emotional emptiness, and sadness. They may also have a fear of abandonment issues, as well as a tendency to perfectionism and unrelenting self-criticism, or sabotage and frustration. So, in reading that, we all know and understand what a narcissist is. And to see and to read and study the narcissistic tendencies of a mother, because we protect mama. We protect mama. We overlook her shortcomings. Mama can't do no wrong. You know, in the famous saying, and I'm the exact same way in an intimate setting with family, I can talk about my mama. But if you outside the immediate family, you better not say nothing about my mother. Cause you gonna catch the what for. You gonna get the business. That's just what it is. And I think that we have to start, if we're going to have the difficult and hard discussions, and if we're going to heal, we have to heal from our father issues, from our daddy issues, and we got to heal from our mama issues, because there are issues pending on both sides. And so we have to deal with it. You should have had love from both parents. True. But see, you know, when we talk about love, it is the way a lot of us love, because we've learned it from both parents, is toxic. Is disrespectful, because our upbringing, the dysfunctional love that we may have experienced and witnessed between our two parents. I mean, dysfunction breeds dysfunction. You know, because what may seem functional to you because you grew up in a chaotic household Someone else can look at it as dysfunction. You know, but looking at some of the toxic and abusive traits of a mother, you've heard me read the first one, and I read the description. Narcissistic. We all know what a narcissist is. She puts guilt on you for feeling the way you feel, for thinking the way you do. She demoralizes your importance. She guilts you as an adult for setting boundaries for her. Yes, it does create dysfunctional men. But it goes back to the question, who's raising them? Mama raising them. Because according to statistics, 70% of children are born out of wedlock. Almost 80% of those born out of wedlock, if the parents are not under one roof raising that child or children, over 80% of those children live with mama. They live with their mother. So I always ask mothers the question, the type of son, when it comes to your sons, I hear women complain about today's men having feminine tendencies. But who's raising them? Who's raising them? If the father is not actively involved in that boy's life, what the son tends to mirror is feminine traits, because that's what he's getting, because he's with mama. So if your son was a grown man and you looking at him as a grown man, would you date that type of man? I ask mothers that all the time. If you wouldn't date your son as a grown man, when you look at him, then you're destroying him for the next woman. This is why I'm an advocate of, even before I had children, I've always been an advocate for fathers being involved in the children's life. Always. Growing up, when my father wasn't involved in my life, then when he came in my life, the level of disrespect that I had for him as a man, one, and as my father, second, and then as the head of his house and of his home and his family, I didn't have any respect for him. Because what I often heard was, whenever he came around, the energy that my mother had towards him, the things that my mother would say about him, I took on her experiences and I made it my own. And thus the way I perceived my father was not even through the eyes of the experiences that I had with him. I'm a big advocate of, if the father wants the child, especially his son when he becomes of age, If y'all co-parenting, give him his son. Mothers cannot teach a boy how to be a man. Give him up to the father. Because he needs to be that the work ethic. Don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about deadbeats. I'm talking about real men, fathers. If a father wants his son, especially his son, yes, the daughter needs to be under his guidance and tutelage as well. But his son needs to see what a man looks like. He needs to experience when my son is with me, when I'm up, he's up. Like, all right, let's go. Let's get in class. You got anything to catch up on in work? When he's at the shop with me, when he's at work with me, the minute I open the shop doors, I tell him, all right, go sit down, get set up, let's get in it. And when he's done, Dad, can I help you in the shop? That's what fathers do. And I have the opportunity to allow him to do that. He takes out the garbage, he sweeps, makes sure that, the shop is maintained. He sees men at work. So, continuing on, toxic and abusive traits of a mother. Excuse me. Traits, let me rephrase that. Traits of a toxic and abusive mother. Narcissistic, 1. Guilt, 2. Manipulation. I see that real big with mothers and daughters. The control aspect, I see that real big with mothers and daughters. Growing up, refresh your page, family. It'll catch up. Growing up, a toxic and an abusive mother, she has like I said earlier, she has a problem with you setting boundaries for her. She's always in your business. And I'm not talking about how your day was, how's the kids, how's the family, if you're married, how's the husband, whatever, when am I going to see my grandbabies? I'm not talking about a concerned mother. I'm talking about a mother who has no boundaries, who's always in your business. To the point where she's invasive. And then get mad when you say, Mom, look, I really don't want to talk about that. And then she blows up at you. I've seen this oftentimes with mothers and daughters. A mother is jealous and envious of her daughter. How are you going to be jealous of something that you gave birth to? One of the biggest traits of a mother who is toxic and abusive is emotional and psychological abuse. You tell her, no, Mom, I can't. Mom, I'm not. And then I've witnessed where a mother just goes on the attack of her daughter, just verbally angry. until the point where the mother beats her daughter down so much that the daughter just gives in. Okay. All right, Mom. I'll be over there in a little bit. I know mothers. I know mothers who have they say that when it comes to the children, I'll never keep the father away, but then want to control how the father interacts and when the father interacts with his children. I've seen it. I've seen it. So, I mean, when it comes to different characteristics that we've read off, it's okay to need help. It's okay to seek professional help. Emotionally abusive. Was that you have or you gave birth to? Oh no, I'm not playing about that, Shawnee. I never said there's not deadbeat men. You can go over on YouTube and watch Friday night's live stream on YouTube, and we discuss the effects of a father not being in his child's life. So, but I see oftentimes what we do is that when that's why I did 2 shows last week as far as holding men accountable. I hold both sides accountable, men and women. I'm not bashing mothers. Not bashing mothers at all. But if we're going to heal as a family, as adults, mothers need to be accountable for what they do and don't do. Fathers got to be accountable for what they don't do or don't do. I'm always talking about the issues that me and my father had. Always. But too often what we do is that we give praise for holding men accountable, but then it's bashing women when we charge women with accountability. Both sides are accountable. I'm accountable for my children, just like their mother is accountable for their children, for her children, for our children. You know, but and too often, and we need to stop this, family. Where the minute that we charge accountability to women, that all of a sudden we're getting shamed for doing so. We got to stop that. We're all human beings. We all make mistakes. We all make bad choices, and we have to, in holding each other accountable, we got to give each other room to grow. We got to be empathetic towards one another. We got to stop men with feminine tendencies. They play games as well. But that was the two shows last week. Mm. I hold both to a high standard, not an unrealistic standard, because children need both. They need their mother, they need their father. Fathers can't teach their daughters femininity through masculine perspective. Mothers can't teach sons masculinity through a feminine perspective. That's why I said this is why you have a lot of aggressive women and feminized men. We need both. We need the loving and nurturing aspect of our mothers, and we need the direction and the discipline from our fathers. The first experience of the feminine form of God is through our mother. The first form of the masculine aspect of God is through our fathers. Generational curses. Yes, it is. It is. See, the thing about generational curses is that when are you going to break it? When are you going to break your lineage family's curse? If you know that in your family, the majority of the men and women have children out of wedlock, when are you going to make the decision to break that curse? So, I mean, like I said, family, I don't hold no one more accountable than the other. I don't. All right, Sonny, let's deal with this. You can't make a man love his child. A man loves his child differently than a woman. You have too many mothers out here that is trying to force a man to love his child the way she would love him. Men don't. We love differently. The way we as men love our children, we love them through time, through the quality of time. We love our children through discipline, through guidance, through giving them instruction. That's how men love their children. It's not a man's job to be nurturing and loving the way it is a mother's job. I never said people plan to get married. I mean, I knew that this topic was gonna make people feel some type of way. I knew it was gonna make women feel some type of way, but the conversation has to be had. And for those who know me, I'm not afraid to have these hard conversations. Because if we gonna grow up, then it's time for us to grow up. I understand that every pregnancy is not planned. I get that. Yet, I'm not going to hold the father more accountable than the mother. Thus, tonight's topic of conversation. You know, like I said, if a father wants his child when they become of age, sign the rights over to the father. If you truly care about your children, if you truly care about your children and you care about their well-being and you know that their father is not going to do anything harmful or anything malice or with ill intent, and that father wants his child or children, come to an agreement and give that child to the father. If y'all are not together, I'm not talking about the parents who reside under one household. I mean, you ladies, you knew the type of man he was when you laid down with him. Like, let's stop playing these games. What your intuition was telling you, don't do it. He's not the one. Why are you? So you can't say, oops, well, I'm pregnant now. Nah, you knew what it was. That was your decision. Own it, accept it. Not going. We here on Candid Conversations aren't going to love you any differently. We understand that even men get caught up in the moment. We get caught up in the moment just like you do. At the end of the day, as mature adults, we take ownership for decisions that we've made. We take ownership for the decisions that we didn't make. We have to take ownership of it. And I know it's hard at times because it's easy to say, well, shoulda, coulda, woulda, or hindsight is 2020. I know it's easy to say that. If you want different, and this is to the men and women, if you want different, you have to realize where your issues lie and then get help for it. Some things can be fixed and worked out through self-help. Some things need professional help. Excuse me. I always say when I bring up different topics, the only thing that I speak on is research that I've done. I'm not a clinician, but we all need help in some way, form, or fashion. The thing is, are you honest enough to know when you need help? Are you honest enough with yourself? Or are you still lying to yourself and you would rather I did a post yesterday. Doggone it. Let me see. Where What did I say? Let's see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. So I can't find. Wait. Let me see. Let's see. All right, here we go. I found it. I posted yesterday. I said a lot of people can't handle the truth about themselves. They would rather hear a beautiful lie that protects their ego. And I truly stand on that. I truly stand on that. If you want the truth, the truth ain't always pretty. And I know one of the things that we've been taught and raised is on this hope. I don't have a problem with hope. Don't get me wrong. But I'm a bigger fan of putting in the work, putting in the time, putting in the effort. You know, so I mean, I know it's difficult. I know that, ladies, it's hard, you know, to always want to be praised for the good that you do. And it's a challenge when someone points out something that you might be able to do better and to hold you accountable to that standard. Never give me the truth. There's a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that. There is no one in the world that should be able to stop a person from showing the vulnerability to either reflect on your actions or to ask for help. Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's true. Like I said, family, the question of this show, the topic of conversation tonight was, is your mother loving and nurturing or toxic and abusive? But, like I said earlier in the show, I'm not bashing women. I'm not bashing mothers. They're simply things that mothers need to work on. That's all. That's all. I love y'all. Of course, I have a mother and a mom. So I have aunties. I mean, I got women in my family. And I know some of their plights growing up. I don't look at them any different. Some of them I just okay, yep. I mean, she family. I love her anyway. She need help, but she family anyway. And I think let me say this before I log out. Family, as men and women, we have to give each other space to make mistakes. We make mistakes, and it's okay. We're human beings. We're human. So ladies, I love y'all. To all the mothers out there, I love y'all. Keep doing what y'all doing. If you find yourself in some of these toxic characteristics, do some work. You can't become the best version of yourself if you refuse to point out things that you need worked on. It's okay. It's okay. But like I said, ladies, to all my mothers, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Because y'all are the glue and the backbone of the family. A lot of y'all keep the family together. I had a big mama. As crazy as she was, I had one. So. But until the next time, until Friday, come over to YouTube. I don't know. Come over to YouTube Friday. As always, I'll post the link to where y'all can, click in and watch the Ustream or the live stream. But always closing out, like I open up, giving a shout out to my sister at Aries Owens. Go and follow her. Copper Book. Hear me out. Also giving a shout out to the homie Gary Crenshaw and his detail center down on Hayden Road in East Cleveland. You can follow him over on IG at the G Spot Detailing. My aunt, photos in the background. My aunt Kim Black. I love you, auntie. If you're looking for anything, any painting for your office, for your home office, for your work office, for your home, if you want something custom made, everything there she doesn't do any copies. Everything is authentic. So if you want something put to canvas, holla at her. Right here on Facebook. She ain't on IG. So, message her, and ask her, to help put your ideas to canvas. Also, there you go. Ethan West at West Wheels. If you done messed up your wheel, your rim here in Ohio, the salt eating it up, the curve ate it up because y'all parking too close to it. Chuck holes or taking baby chunks out of it. Hit the homie up. Also, me and my brother, my brother, Fred Council Jr. at FC on the Beat over on IG. You can go on to his music and production page at fconthebeat.com. If you're looking for any type of music, any type of laydown, any type of production, holla at my brother. Go support. And last but not least, myself and the big homie Rodney Dukes at Polish 'em Off Ceramic and Detailing Center out in North Ridgeville, Ohio. If you're looking to getting your car ceramic coating and protected for the rest of this winter, holla at us. Also, if you're looking to get your remote start, if you're looking to get heated seats, if you're looking to get windows tinted, we do it. You can follow us on IG at Polish 'em Off ADC. Until Friday, love y'all. Ooh, hitting my microphone. But I love y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in tonight. Until next time, deuces.